All right. Welcome everyone to Monday night's Pep Talk, Power of Peptides. It's so fun seeing everyone jumping on, all your fun faces. Welcome, welcome. This is going to be a super fun evening. It's a little bit different than normal, which is, our style. You never know what you're going to get. We have some guys and some gals. Hey, Vanessa. I love your hearts. Jen, I love your hearts. Thank you. We have guys and gals sharing tonight. And, peptides are for everyone. A lot of times we just hear from women, but what's super fun is hearing from a lot of different people, men and women. So, first of all, welcome if you're new here. It's amazing that you have jumped on. And if you're listening to the recording, we are super glad that you're doing that too. And you may be wondering, if you're new here, what in the world is a peptide? There is a lot of buzz floating around in the world in marketing and advertising everywhere now. There's all kinds of peptides. You hear about GLP-1s, you hear about GIPs, you hear about collagen peptides, you hear about all kinds of peptides. And it might be sounding like alphabet soup to you. And you're like, I don't know if this is something that I just need to pay attention to because I'm hearing it everywhere, or what is up? So basically, really fast, without getting in my science mode, because I was a science teacher, a peptide is a tiny chain of amino acids that works in your body like a text message. They are actually going to help your body. They go in and tell your body to do what it's supposed to do. But as we age and as we deal with life, right? Stress, hormone changes, food challenges, toxins in our environment, all kinds of things, our bodies don't always function the best way that they should. And layers and years build up. And suddenly we're like, whoa, I feel old, or I feel like my body's not cooperating anymore like it used to. My brain feels like it is, my body's not. That's where peptides are amazing. They are not a medication, they're in a class by themselves, and they don't treat the symptom. They actually help heal systems by going into your body and saying, hey, you need to, snap it into gear, snap out of your sleep, and they help your system.
Hey, Robin, you just got muted. Sorry.
Yeah, I did. I don't know why. Anyway, thank you for letting me know. All of a sudden it flashed up. Okay. So what we're going to hear tonight, there's a many different kinds of peptides. There are peptides that help your, all kinds of systems in your body, because our systems are all interconnected. And tonight we're going to hear stories from men and women who have been using peptides to help all different things going on in their body. And we are all here. What's amazing is we've found this telehealth company called LEMD, which is a concierge telehealth company specializing in regenerative and longevity peptides. Those are big words. And you're like, what in the world, right? If you've been using them, you're like, yes, I'm all in. These actually help you heal. They help you feel younger. I'm just going to jump out and say it because, you actually are making your body work more like it did when it was younger. So if anytime along this Zoom, if you are like, hey, I'm confused or I have a question, pop it in the chat. Blair's going to help answer questions in the chat. And we want this to be a really fun time, informative time for you. And if you do have questions, let us know. If you're listening to the recording, just get with the person who sent you the recording and they can help you answer questions as well. So we're going to jump right in. Actually, we're going to swap the order up a little bit because Jackie is still, hang on, I'm going to make sure she was going to share first. But let's see, hang on one second. Bear with me. And actually, we're going to have, while I help Jackie get on the Zoom, Jason, do you mind kicking it off for us and sharing your story? We can do this. I know you can do this because Jason, tell us a little bit. I know we talked about some questions, but tell us a little bit about you. What got you started on peptides and what you're feeling now? Can you unmute yourself?
There we go. How's that?
There we go.
This MacBook is a little different than what I'm used to. I'm used to this thing right here,
That's all right.
So I've been interested. I don't know. For me, getting older and not liking it is kind of the biggest thing, And when you start approaching 50 something, you kind of want to slow that sand that's going through that, the hourglass a little bit. So I've always been interested in it. And, since they come out with it, and I was always interested. I was an electrician for 25 years, just busy, 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 heavy, cold, everything, you know. Um, I really got interested in the BPC 157. You know, that was one of my biggest interests. But then, you know, you get into this in the trizepatide, the NED plus. Holy smokes, man! Don't do 50 twice a week. Do 40. Whoo, that stuff kicks, man. So I really enjoy that and the energy with the NED plus. I get some sleep, just everything. It's just helped everything. You know, the brain fog, any kind, you know, it just lights a fire under you that you missed, that you forgot you had, you know, and that's amazing. And then the trizepatide, whoo, that is some good stuff. You know, I'm not as active exercise wise as I used to be, and I got these rolls around my back there, my belt line, and I couldn't get rid of them. I didn't know what I was going to do, either live with it or watch my eyes pop out when I tie my shoes, you know. So that stuff really took off, and it's got me down to the weight I'm comfortable with, you know. And that doesn't mean that I shouldn't be out on that mountain bike and doing some other things, but you know, I'm just really the stuff is does exactly what it's supposed to do, you know, and I feel better. I feel great, and you know, and it's helped my wife out quite a bit too, you know, going through menopause and things like that. All of her levels are exactly where they need to be for her, you know, and none of her other treatments. She doesn't need any of that stuff. So I can't say enough good stuff about it. You know, it's a little weird to give yourself a shot the first time, but hey, it is what it is. Now I got a whole drawer full of syringes, and it's kind of fun. So,
I
yeah,
love it. So tell us, that's awesome, Jason. Tell us a little bit about how long you've been using it and kind of what you first started to notice.
I think we are ending our third month, just beginning our fourth month because we got our new prescriptions. So, yeah, it's been 3 months, and the first 2 weeks, oh man, I got this extra skin. I mean, I was getting a little worried. I'm like, wow, I am dropping weight in a hurry, you know. And then within the first couple of days, I think it might have been the third shot of all this. We both just sacked out and woke up at like 6:30 in the morning going, holy cow, I haven't dreamt like that in years. And so you know you're getting some good sleep when you can get into some weird dreams. And it's just been it yeah. So in 3 months I am down, and you know, I lost a lot of weight. I went from 220 to 195 in, you know, the first couple of weeks. I was like, holy smokes. I was like, is this going to stop? What have I done to myself? You know? But we've leveled out, and it's hanging tough. And, you know, it just spurs a lot of things in your life, what you eat, you know, just it just brings out a lot of that. You know, we're not eating the the deep fried foods and things like that, and it's just been really a great deal that we got into, and I'm super grateful for it. You know.
That is awesome. Well, before we wrap up and move to Jackie and Wally, we have a question asking you which ones you use. So you mentioned the GLP-1 GIP, which is tirzepatide. Sometimes it's compounded with B12. So that one, and then what else are you guys using?
We do the BPC 157, the Somorelin,
Mm-hmm.
and the NED plus. And I
Awesome.
just started the Somorelin, and you know, I'm hoping I just look like the Incredible Hulk with no effort. You know.
If it were only that easy, right?
Right, right.
But you're active enough and you're physically active enough that you can keep
Oh
your
yeah,
muscles going.
yeah. I can't sit still.
Right.
She won't let me.
Busted, right, Becky? Well, thank you, Jason, so much. That is awesome. And it's always amazing to hear everybody's story is so different, right? And this is what's so fun. Because if you're watching this or you're watching the recording, you're like, I wonder if this is for me or my husband, or you never know how it's going to be amazing for you. But that's why we love having all of you on here, because everybody's story is so different. So thank you so much, Jason. And we are going to jump over to Jackie and Wally. Let me find you on here and I'll spotlight you here. Let's see. There's so many awesome people on. Thank you. Thank you. Let's see. Start talking and then I can find you. Or can you hear me, Jackie? There we are. I see you now. Let's unmute. And
I have to unmute. Are
Yep.
we muted?
You're unmuted. Got it.
Okay, well, we just got in from outside and we're a mess, so.
You
Well,
look awesome. Hey, Wally. You look amazing. So we'll jump right in and each of you can share about your personal experience a little bit, like we talked about. And then one of you can decide, or you both can jump in as a couple and share a little bit of like what you've noticed for your relationship or how it's helped you as a couple. So who wants to go first, Jackie or Wally?
Jackie will.
She's been volunteered. Okay, go ahead, Jax.
I have not been able to try as many of the things as I would like. I have to order some of the, I'm on NAD now and I'm really liking that for inflammation. So I have rheumatoid arthritis and that has been something that's stopped me in my tracks on some days. Some days I'm good to go. Some days I can't function, move, hold a glass of water, nothing. And this is just me being a klutz, but it has nothing to do with the arthritis. With the NAD, I've noticed that I can make a fist every single day. I don't drop things. I really am enjoying the NAD. I started with trizepatide B12, which I'm still, no, you're doing the trizepatide. And I think I went to the other one. What is the other one, Robin?
Straight GLP-1. I think you switched to the straight GLP-1. Yep.
Yeah. So I could add the NAD and just try to start incorporating other things. It's not really for weight loss that I was going for. I was going for feeling better. With the arthritis and being 58 and running a farm, yeah, all the things. You need your joints. You need to be able to sleep at night. You need your joints. You need to be able to pick things up and open up. I couldn't even open up a jar. It was getting kind of bad. So it was getting really hard to just do my job. And I would like to explore the other things. I just, being summer and on a farm, I have not taken the time to do it.
So when you started with the tirzepatide or the GLP-1/GIP plus B12, and then you switched to the straight GLP-1, what are some things you noticed when you started that?
I didn't, I think I like the tirzepatide a little better personally. For me, I think I noticed a better curve to my appetite, for me. And I really like that B12. Really like the B12. So a little straight B12 might be an option as well, might be adding that. But there is also B12 in the NAD. So that's why I thought I could switch over. I kind of just was experimenting. I think I'm going to go back to the straight tirzepatide. I like the microdosing much better.
Awesome. And that's one thing that's really nice. You get to be your own advocate, right? And see how you feel, and you get to, work with the doctors and make the decision to help feel your best on which one is best for you. So anything else you've noticed? Are your pants fitting looser? I know you said something to me about.
Oh yeah, I think I don't even know how much I lost because I'm really bad at the whole weighing thing. I went down about 3 sizes in pants.
Oh.
I'm not an extra large shirt anymore. I'm a large.
And over how long of period of time was that?
I think that was within 4 months.
That's awesome.
3 to 4 months is when I really noticed it. I didn't, you just keep going, right? That's how we do it. We just keep going. And then one day I noticed that I was on the last hole of my belt.
Wow, that's awesome.
Oh, I need a new belt. So that right there is, I think, when the light bulb went off because I wasn't paying attention and my pants were too big. And I think Wally even said something to me. He's like, "You need to get some pants. You're kind of starting to look a little homeless there, babe." I was like, "Oh, nice."
I love it.
Honestly,
Well, Wally, what about you? Can you share what you were feeling when you started, what you're kind of struggling with, and then
what I was feeling when I started was old and fat. Uh, got the beer gut going. The typical. I'm 62, so I got the typical bulge in the front, and I mean, working on the farm here, that didn't slow down. So I was still active. I was still getting up at 4:30 in the morning, and so it's not like my activity level had changed, but yet my metabolism had to the point where I was adding weight and nothing was coming off. So I, of course, not eating with a 5-star cook in the house isn't exactly easy. So cutting back wasn't something that I was looking forward to. So when I started the shots, it took about almost 2 weeks. And then I started to feel something changing. I didn't feel bloated. I didn't feel lagged down. I didn't feel like I couldn't continue doing what I was doing. Chores became easier. Work became lighter. There was things where I was looking forward to doing more, before I was ready to quit. So it definitely has
Yes.
boosted my uh, drive. It's boosted my energy level, and I've taken off about 25 pounds.
Oh, it's
Yeah, I'm on the last loop of my belt too, so I got to get the leather punch out.
sounds like leather punches or belt shopping is in order for your household, right?
Pretty. So it's been good. I mean, I tried to cut back a little bit, and then I noticed that I don't feel as well as I did. So it's like, okay, and I have my vet tech here make up my shots for me. So I tell her, make me another shot, babe. But no, it's definitely changed a lot in my life. So it's been making things bearable. Actually, it got to the point where we were both looking at each other like, what the hell do we do this? I mean, this is we're she's 50.
he means the farm,
The
not
farm,
the
yeah.
GLP-1.
I'm in my 60s. It's like, why we took this on, and holy crap, I don't know if we can keep this up. But that has definitely changed my perspective on things and allowed me to keep going and given me a much different outlook for the future. So
That is so awesome. I get goosebumps every time I hear you guys tell your story. So anything else you want to share about your as a couple doing it together? I know Jason and Becky are doing it together. For you guys doing it together. Any
I think, what the really funny part is we don't eat as much. So I know in the summer everybody has that, we don't get in the house till 8 o'clock. It doesn't get dark. So you just keep going until it gets dark. But breakfast, lunch, dinner, I have to make myself stop. So the protein bars, protein shakes, we do a shake in the morning. Wally does take lunch to work.
mhm.
But I notice that I forget to eat because I'm not hungry, and for some reason I still have all the energy in the world and I'm not hungry. So I have to make sure that I remind myself that I need to grab something, or I mean, even one of the horse's apples, or I walk around eating carrots a lot. And go past the garden now that it's summer, and I grab something out of the garden and I'll just eat it on the way into the barn. But I think that's something that we don't have left. I don't cook as much.
No,
I don't cook as much.
no.
We don't have all the leftovers. know if that's good or not.
And even though she didn't before, she looks even more sexy to me now. So there you go.
I love it. You two are awesome. So thank you so much for sharing. Wally and Jackie, I was at their wedding, you guys, and Jason and Becky's wedding. This is awesome. See, you guys, peptides bring people together. It's amazing. Love it. Thank you so much. Tommy, we're going to jump over to you, and I am going to, let's see, I'm going to put the spotlight there so we can find you. Yay, there you are. Can you unmute? There we are.
Hey guys.
All right. So Tommy, just tell us a little bit about you and kind of what got you started with peptides.
Okay, well, I'm good friends with Robin. That's how I got started. I have struggled with food for years. I just eat too much. And eating dinner with Robin and how they eat, and we started talking about it, and I finally said yes to doing it. And it's been life changing. Was 290 pounds when I started. I'm down to 236 in 5 months, 5.5 months. So the main thing I did it was for the kids. Wonderful kids, and they were looking at me like, Dad, you're not going to be around, like if you can't do stuff with us. And so that's been inspiration. And Robin's been my inspiration through the whole thing, helping me. And it's just, yeah, it's been life changing. I actually get emotional thinking about it because I didn't realize how heavy I was and how unhealthy I was until I saw myself in a picture with the kids. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's me. What am I doing? And yeah, so it's been going. It was the food. I'm not hungry like I used to be. I don't crave carbs. It's just, yeah, it's been life changing. And it's been fun. And I got back on a horse thanks to Robin, which is fun because all my kids ride horse, and she let me back on her horses, and it's all the little goals that I've made. I'm starting to reach a lot of them, so it's really fun.
That's awesome. So share a little bit about kind of, you had a bad wreck and it kind of got you to a point where it was hard to even move around, right?
Yeah, I had a bad car accident and broke my back when I was young. And being young, you hurt your bodies a lot, and then it catches up to you when you get in your 40s. And that's one thing I know. So my biggest thing, once it took about 2 weeks before I noticed anything with the shots, the inflammation in my hands and my ankles. That I haven't worn my wedding ring in 3 years, and now it falls off when I do the dishes. Don't tell my wife I do the dishes, uh, but no. So the inflammation was the biggest thing I noticed, and then the appetite. Like I wasn't hungry, and I actually got to the point where Robin actually had me split my shots up because I wasn't eating anything. Like I was not, and the kids were getting after me, and that didn't quite work because then I was getting hungry again. So I went back to one shot a week. But yeah, just appetite control. That's been the biggest thing.
And you mentioned because you drive a lot. Tommy drives a lot for work.
I do. I put a lot of miles on.
Yeah, and
it's helped with my back. Like I said, I was to the point, like Jason said, about not being able to tie your shoes. I struggled. I was wearing slip-on shoes, and I'd get out of my work truck, and it'd take me a few minutes to get moving, and now I feel so much better. I feel like I'm back in my 20s. But one of the biggest things too is I struggled with sleep apnea, and I haven't worn my CPAP machine in 2 months, and I'm sleeping well, and so that's a huge win there too.
That's amazing. And talk about driving by Burger King. There's a couple other stories you've mentioned to me. You say, when you're driving down the road, and it used to be you drive by a Burger King and.
Oh yeah, the one day I pulled in the Burger King parking lot, and I have a work truck, so I can't really fit through the drive-throughs, which is a good thing. But I pulled in, and I got out of my truck, and I walked up to the door of Burger King, and I said, "What the hell am I doing?" And I got back to my truck, and I actually made a phone call and called my kids and told them, and went back on the road. And yeah, it was such a habit. I craved carbs and the sugars and stuff, and that's gone for the most part.
That's amazing. And then I remember you walking up to a horse show, or it was a barrel race, and you were saying about your shorts. And it's just all of a sudden you're like, I haven't tell that story, because this will wrap it up with this story, because I know we're about out of time, but this is a really fun story.
Oh, about the shorts that I haven't worn in years.
Then you threw against the wall and you were mad, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. And the biggest thing is we do a lot of barrel racing with Robin and stuff, and I've had to use our hole puncher and keep going on my belt. So, and I'm wearing clothes that I didn't throw away, that I loved, and I'm getting back, and I had to go shopping to buy all new jeans, and yeah, it's been exciting.
That's amazing. Well, thank you, Tommy, for jumping on and sharing. It's
Yes.
amazing to see your You've watched your journey, and everyone tonight, it's just thank you so much for sharing. It's been amazing to hear straight from the horse's mouth, pardon the expression, but it's these kinds of stories that keep inspiring us to share with our friends, right? So if you're listening tonight and you have somebody you care about, or somebody that if it's you or someone you care about that is looking for help, it's truly a tool that when you combine it with other things you're doing with your healthy lifestyle, it's incredible the results you can get. So as we wrap up tonight, thank you all so much for jumping on. It looks like everyone has, for all of you guests, if you haven't seen the chat, everyone really loved your stories and really appreciated you jumping in here. So if you have questions, if you are new here and you're like, yes, I want to create one of these stories, get with the person who shared this with you. They can help you find the proper, link to get to the LEMD site, which has amazing options. And here's how simple it is. You get on the website, you create a free account, you can access to view all the different peptide options, and then you select which one looks like it will work best for you. You submit the health questionnaire and your photo ID, a copy of that, to the telehealth doctors in the network. They will either approve or deny based on your questionnaire, your prescription, and then send it, if it's approved, to the pharmacy, and it's mailed to you, which is super smooth, just to your door. I know for us, we live in a really rural area. It's hard to find access to really good quality peptides. And that's the last thing I'm going to touch on as we close, which is there are a lot of peptides out there in the world. You see them everywhere. Not all peptides are created equally. There are different grades of peptides, research grade, and there are black market and gray market. And yes, you will find them for less money. However, they're not all effective, and many of them, if they are not super pure, are blended with things that you don't want in your system. Okay, so that's one of the things that I loved, and everyone who is using LEMD as a resource for their peptides on here loves, is the purity. It's a 503A pharmacy, triple purified, and there are so many benefits to super high quality peptides you can feel. So thank you again for everyone jumping on here. You're all amazing. I love seeing all your faces. And to Jackie and Wally and Jason and Tommy for sharing, you all made my night. And everyone on here seems to just really enjoy it too. So thank you, thank you, thank you for all the love. Have a fabulous evening, everyone. We will talk to you soon. Bye.